Soundscape is a word that was coined by a musician in the 70s to say it's like music of natural sounds. It's like and clearly it's the auditory equivalent of a landscape. You have the landscape is what you see, the soundscape is what you hear. The term Mindscape comes from a conversation we had with Hideaki Hidetsuki when we prepared that workshop. And it came from Japanese genfuke, which means the original landscape or something like this, the thing that you refer back to describe your own subjectivity, the childhood, what you really are, your subjectivity, what you want to express as an artist. So we had 1 week for the workshop, 1 week for the exhibition in a very intense, everybody in the same room, living there for a whole week. Just the daily coming there, seeing everyone, the community of people getting together. You wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is you go there, you grab a breakfast on the way and you meet everybody. You've been there, midnight the day before, you just meet the next morning with the same thing, working together. It was just great. Great feeling as a community of people.
Inside. Yeah. It's a different. And listen
This workshop was a collaboration that I had with a visual artist, Hidetsuki Hideaki, who is at that time was a professor of Japanese painting in Musashino Art University in Tokyo. And the goal of the workshop was to gather both visual artists and sound technology people, to put them together in the same room for 1 week, trying to think about the way people hear sound and produce pieces of art or installations or recordings, and then produce these pieces in an exhibition afterwards. Machines can perceive sound. Machines can record sound, they can analyze sound, and the kind of fake perception of sound that they have is very different from that of a human. Computers, when they listen to sound, it's like they do a picture. You get the exact photographic postcard kind of, very objective way. When you have a soundscape, the way a human understand this soundscape is a bit like a painter. A painter does his rendering of a landscape is not about photographic exact objective representation, but you will keep some things, delete some things, project your memory, your childhood, whatever you have. At some point, some students from Musashino, students from Hidetsuki, so undergraduate students of Japanese painting, were thinking about how to paint sound. You hear sound, you paint it. And they went very, very systematic on this. They thought, okay, let's write some rules. So we'll paint the sound. From left to right is the intensity of the sound. So loud sound will be here, low sound will be here. From bottom to up will be how pleasing the song is. So if you have a very unpleasing loud sound, it will be upright. A very low and pleasing sound of water, say, will be on the bottom left. And they designed a lot of rules like this. They talked about this I could see them working in one corner of the room like crazy for a whole afternoon. Battling about rules, like mine is better. They did copies. I have them here actually. There's like a pile of drawings and paintings. And in the end, they came to us, to me and Ide, and they said, we found the best rule ever. This works very well. And they said, from left to right is time, and from bottom to up is the height of the sound. And when they said this, I nearly collapsed, because left to right is time, bottom to up is the height of the sound, is technically what a scientist will call a Fourier transform. So these people with absolutely no knowledge of what a computer was just reinvented the Fourier transform. Fourier transform is arguably one of the best representations for science, but they reached a very similar conclusion on this. And one of these moments you feel, I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to be here. This is what I want to do, because this thing is changing the way I look at my science, and me talking about all these things, we realize we're talking about the same thing from different angles. The underlying goal of the workshop was a little bit like this, trying to see different languages and how we could talk to each other, the language of art and the language of science.